I'm a gun owner for over 25 years, and I'm a believer that we need to protect the Second Amendment in its entirety. Well, let me answer that this way. The best thing I can tell you is this year, I have heard, and I can't confirm this number, there are 62 business owners running for Congress. All right? You know the reason business owners don't run for Congress?
They're too busy.
Well, they're too busy creating jobs. They're too busy employing people. And they're concerned that the other party is going to dig up any little thing for the last 30 years and come up with half-truths to scare them away. And what you found this year is at least 62 business owners are saying, you know what, it's more important to step up and take the half-truths because the American people are smarter than the Democratic Party really thinks. And I'm a firm believer that they're going to look very hard and say, we need to put somebody down there who has created a job, who has balanced the budget, because if you have done that, you're going to understand what it takes to expand this economy, and that's what we need to do. So the best thing you can do here is send me down there, who has that background experience. Any other questions?
What do you think of the audacity of them looking at our 401ks?
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of things they're doing that I think is an audacity. The healthcare bill, they're going to make every business owner do a 1099 for everybody they spend money on. And let's start talking about all the things that are going to be looked at. I mean, this is why I said less government, less taxes. We've got to get government out of our way, and we need to do it soon. I told you, this is not the most important election in your lifetime. It's the most important election in this country's lifetime. I mean that sincerely.
Can you clarify your position between consumption taxation and productivity taxation? I've kind of read your website, quite frankly. I really don't care for your position. I'd like to just understand where you are. You say you're growing jobs, but yet you want a simpler, say 67,000 pages that you have to 60,000. You just want to get rid of it altogether.
Which, I'm sorry, I didn't understand what the question is.
Can you tell me what your position is between consumption taxation and productivity taxation? Consumption taxation is a fair tax, an example of it. Productivity taxation is the mess we have today.
Well, the current tax system is complicated. Look, I'm a CPA, and I guarantee you most people in this room don't know what half the line items are on their tax return. I guarantee you most CPAs don't know what all the tax lines are on their tax return, and I guarantee most IRS agents don't understand all the tax. So it's complicated. We need to simplify it. My position is this: we need a simpler tax, but we need less taxes. So I'm not saying that I'm for a consumption tax or a fair tax. I'm for whatever it takes to simplify the tax system so the tax burden on the American citizen is less.
There's a fundamental difference there. You're talking about a simpler tax for continuing productivity taxation, which is everything we do, they find a way to tax it. Or you wait until the end and tax it on consumption, where you basically drive out a significant amount of cost out of business. That's a fundamental difference. And I'm trying to understand this. Where are you on that fundamental difference?
Well, I told it, again, if we go to the fair tax, I think it's an interesting system. It's a simpler system. You don't need to file a tax return. You don't need an IRS agent.
You don't tax business.
I'm sorry?
And you don't tax business.
I still didn't hear you. I'm really sorry.
I'm sorry, you don't tax business in the fair tax year.
Right, it's the ultimate, it's the final tax. All right. That's a pretty interesting system, but I'm not telling you that I'm for that. I'm telling you that it's a system I'd like to look at. I think it's interesting. I think it simplifies things. But I think we need to simplify our overall tax code. I hope I'm answering your question. I'm not telling you I'm for.
Simplify overall tax system. Because you got two extremes that you can go at.
Or maybe there's a middle road. That's what I said. I think what we need.
I mean, is that
Yeah.
60,000 pages instead of 67,000? Which, quite frankly, doesn't get you far enough? Or do you, I mean, if you're for creating jobs, why wouldn't you be for eliminating all forms of tax on productivity, which is my living, your living, business living?
Sure. Well, like I said, again, I'm not telling you I have the answer right now because I think the two biggest concerns right now are, I'm talking about the tax code and how we simplify it. I can only tell you that I know we need to simplify it. But I think when I go to Washington in November, we got to get our spending down. Absolutely, we got to get jobs created, and we got to pull government away, healthcare, all these things that are causing the restrictions on our business owners to continue to grow. Then we need to start looking at a lot of other things. Believe me, when I go across this district, I get people bringing up this issue, that issue. Let's get the main issues in place right now. Spending down. Spending, I fear more than anything, because it's going to take away from the American dream. And
I would argue that you should be working on making America the most competitive marketplace in the world. And that would be dealing with taxes, getting spending, and it's all interrelated. But
well, here's the best way to explain it. I'm not saying I'm an advocate. One thing I've learned is when I say something, this gentleman here will take it and film it and put it a different route. Yeah, but let's just ask this. If we have the worst tax rate, next to the worst tax rate in the world, and all of a sudden we had the best tax rate in the world, corporate tax rate, I'm not saying we would go there, but do you think we'd be more competitive?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. So the goal is, let's eliminate being the second worst, and let's make ourselves more competitive across the world. Now you're saying, well, does that mean you do the consumption? You're asking me, what do you do to get there? And I'm telling you, we need to simplify things. I don't have that answer right now. But I do know we need less taxes, and we need a simpler system.
okay, just out of curiosity, and maybe when you have a position on how to get there, because that's always a pretty key part to who I vote for is how you can get there.
So you're telling me the reason you would vote for me is if I gave you my tax position tonight?
So it'd be helpful. It's a lot better than rolling the dice.
I think my general tax position is this, and I'm going to say it again. My general tax position is we need to simplify our system. The fair tax system is a good system. I'm not sure how it can be implemented. But I do know one thing. We need to simplify it and ultimately have a less tax burden for every citizen in the United States. That's my position.
This woman back there asked you about the 401k. John Kerry plans on bringing this up in the first session after the recess about finding out and assembling a another committee, closed door committee, on how they're going to get additional tax revenue from the 401k system. I want to know from you right now, are you standing there? I want to hear you say, I'm not for any increased taxes that presently exist on 401ks.
I'm not for any increased taxes on anything in this country. I'm trying to reduce taxes. And that would be on 401ks and everywhere else.
You're right.
Any other questions?
Jim, so the hypothetically speaking, I mean, in the, when you advise that the federal government should not bail anyone out, in retrospect, do you think you would have opposed the, I don't know how many bailouts the federal government did, but at any rate, do you think you would have opposed the $787 million bailout?
Yeah, I'm a firm believer that we're in a capitalist society. Failures occur. And I believe that the federal government should not be bailing out businesses.
Second question, just out of curiosity, it's something that the Tea Party talks about a little bit as far as how a lot of legislators, don't read bills or House rules, et cetera. How much do you familiarize yourself with the materials that you have, like the Constitution, history, et cetera?
Well, I can tell you this. Give a businessman a contract or give a businessman agreement, and he doesn't sign it until he's read everything in it. All right? So that's how it's simple. See, ultimately, I'm not going to sign something, I'm not going to put my name on it unless I understand what's in it. And I'm clearly not going to understand what's in a 2,000-page bill, sleeping with it overnight.
Well, but I mean now, like your Constitution and, federal papers, et cetera. How much, just, day to day, past 25 years, how much have you enjoyed familiarizing yourself with all those various items?
I got to tell you, for the last 27 years, I've raised 3 children. I've built a business. I've coached baseball. I've spent a tremendous amount of time doing a lot of things that a normal person would do from age 23 to age 50. And probably have picked up a few books and read a few things on the Constitution, but I'm not going to tell you that I've had it with me every day for 27 years. I'd be lying to you. Any other questions? With that, I would tell you, I want to thank you all for being here. Again, you had the opportunity to ask questions. I wish everybody would take that opportunity instead of reading pamphlets or seeing TV commercials. So I really do appreciate you being here. I will be here for a while after if you want to come down and ask me individual questions. But again, thank you for being here. We have about 52 days left. All I can ask you to do for me, please, if you like what you heard tonight and you believe in me as a candidate, please tell your friends. Please have your friends tell other friends. Please sign up for a yard sign out there. Please do whatever necessary to make sure most people understand that they have a choice and that they should vote for Jim Renacci. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
How's it going?
Sign up and keep in touch with me. I'd like to hear where that goes. Okay. Sure. Close enough to but he does get well, I am a believer in giving back. It's getting back more than just a form line.
I appreciate the Are you in a union? No.